All right, Bruce Ffell is a blogger in Michigan, and he apparently is a Young Turks listener, God bless his heart. Went to confront Joe Knollenberg of Michigan, Republican of Michigan, about two things: his war on the Iraq vote. His vote on the Iraq War, and also his vote on S-chip. And there's a great little confrontation. Bruce goes over to see Joe Knollenberg, and Knollenberg apparently is in some sort of, looks like a Quickie Mart. I don't know, a 7-Eleven. He's in some sort of shop there, and basically Bruce wants to ask him, hey, when are you going to vote to end the war? And there's only one thing that Congressman Knollenberg is interested in talking about. It's apparently the Young Turks. So we'll show you that to you in a second. And then later, Knollenberg tries to slink away and go, get out of the picture, but his chief of staff, Trent Wisecup, can't resist. But let's play you the beginning right now when Bruce is talking to the congressman.
So when are you going to end the war?
Hey, listen, where'd you get that sign?
Do you like that sign? It says enough.
Where'd you get the shirt?
I bought it from the Young Turks. You want one? I'll order you one.
Did you say the Young Turks?
Young Turks, yeah.
Are these the
Air
same
America?
Turks? These the same Turks that don't like Armenians, or are they?
I think it's a totally different one. When are you going to end the war?
Whoop, whoop, look at that! All of a sudden, the Young Turks are famous. But all of a sudden, who's on the line but Bruce himself? Almighty Bruce, what's up? How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good.
So, Bruce, first answer me this question. Was the T-shirt an enough T-shirt or a Young Turks T-shirt?
Well, oddly enough, it was an enough T-shirt, and I had just gotten it the day before. I ordered the T-shirt, and you guys sent me the wrong one, so you were nice enough you sent me the Don't Tase Me Bro T-shirt by mistake. And then you were nice enough to send me the enough T-shirt at no cost to me. So I had it on that day. I was ready to go to an anti-war protest, and I got a call from a woman who had a fundraiser for Gary Peters, who was running against Congressman Knollenberg. PetersForCongress.com, by the way. Send him some money.
Yeah, here.
And she let me know that Joe was in town. I jumped in my car and ran into the drugstore when I saw his team outside the drugstore.
So this is just a random drugstore. Where exactly in Michigan?
It's in Rochester Hills.
Okay. And on
which is near Detroit.
Right. On the tape, you hear them talking about, you guys talking about Rochester. Bruce, one of my favorite parts of the tape was when he says, go home, and you say, well, I am home. I live here.
And Trent doesn't live here, by the way.
Oh, is that right? Where's Trent from?
I think he might live in the area, but he's not from the Detroit area. I think he's actually works for Joe in Washington.
This guy looks really, really angry. I mean, we're showing it on the Young Turks right now, and I mean, he is right in your face in the camera. I mean, I don't even know if there's an inch separating his nose from your camera. But did you feel threatened at all as he got that up in your face, or what was the environment in the store at the time?
It was very tense, as you can tell in the video. And I also had talked to a Republican who knows Trent, and she has told me, and I've got audio of this too, but I've never published it, that he had threatened her, and he's very anti-feminist, and he's not a nice guy.
All right, Bruce, here's my main question. Look, there's a lot of the parts of the video that are disturbing and a lot that honestly are funny because he's being absolutely absurd. But the part that I found the most disturbing is he threatens to basically get you arrested. On what basis? Did he ever clarify that?
No, he didn't, but there was another. Yeah, I've been going after Joe for a while, and we had an incident this summer where the Iraq Summer Group was in town. We had two operatives here, and one of the operatives decided to get an ice cream cart and go into Joe's neighborhood and invite him to a town hall meeting we were having about the war on August 28th. And when we went into Joe's neighborhood, 3 cop cars surrounded us and asked us what we were doing. And we told them, and this is all on video on YouTube also, by the way. And they 3 times on the tape, they told us we weren't doing anything wrong, so they let us go. And we eventually got to Joe's house. And when we got to Joe's house, I went up on the porch. We had this ice cream cart decorated with "Support the Troops and the War" signs. And I went up on Joe's porch, and his wife came to the door, and I offered her a free ice cream. And she said she didn't want any, and neither did Joe. And Joe wasn't home anyway. And I went back to the cart, and that was the end of the incident. And then about 3 days later, I got a letter from the West Bloomfield Township Police Department warning me that if I went back, I was violating all these ordinances, and they would prosecute me.
What ordinances?
Let's see, protesting a residence. There were 3 or 4 of them. I can't remember them now. I've got the letter here somewhere, but my desk is a mess.
I got you. So there's certain places that apparently you can't protest. That's...
Well, oddly enough, there's also an ordinance that gives politicians an exemption, so they can do anything they want, come up to your door and canvass, and that's all we were doing was canvassing his neighborhood, inviting them to our town hall meeting.
We're talking to Bruce Ffell. He's a guy who shot this video of Congressman Knollenberg and his chief of staff, Trent Weisskopf, as Trent goes ballistic here. By the way, Bruce, you're a blogger as well. Let's give everybody your website. What's your website?
I have two websites. One is retirejoeknollenberg.com, and the other one is votenoonjoe.blogspot.com.
Okay.
And if you just put in Joe Knollenberg in Google, you'll find them too.
Okay, that sounds good. So, Bruce, what do you take away from this? I mean, you're a citizen, although Trent apparently believes you're a political hack, so you've been robbed of all of your rights as a citizen. Are you willing to confront Congressman Knollenberg again with your camera and ask him these perfectly legitimate questions? And where are you willing to go and not go? Do you have a sense of where they'll arrest you or what they'll arrest you for? Do you have a good sense of what the claims are and what you're going to do next?
Well, I don't think they would arrest me. I didn't do anything wrong. I just, in my opinion anyway, I don't think I broke any law. He's just pissed off.
Bruce, let me just clarify something before you go on. What I want to clarify is I don't think you did anything wrong either, okay? And what I'm afraid of is these days people get arrested and tased, et cetera, even though they haven't done a damn thing wrong, although they're just exercising their rights as citizens. I mean, if you went up to your congressman without a camera and asked him those questions, that would be the most normal thing that any American has ever done. And the fact that you have a camera doesn't change the equation at all. So I agree with you, but they do. I mean, Trent threatens you in the video with getting arrested, and these Bloomfield police apparently sent you a couple of, warnings. So that's why I'm wondering if you're concerned.
I'm not really too concerned. I mean, I didn't plan to go back to the congressman's house anyway, so that's really not an issue. If I find him again in public, I would certainly confront him. In fact, well, I won't tell you my plans. But I have some more plans coming up, in a couple months for sure. But the problem is the congressman doesn't publish his event schedule anywhere. I just happened to know about this because I got a call from USA Today about the race, and the USA Today. There's also an article in yesterday's USA Today about the race and shows about the Republicans that voted against the S-chip program. So that was the gist of the story. And the photographer for USA Today was in the drugstore, and he actually got a picture of me with my T-shirt on, which you would have liked.
Oh.
But they didn't use that picture for some reason.
That's right. We'll try to get it from him. All right. Now, Bruce, real quick here. So, first of all, come on. You're going to keep it from us? You got to let us know. What's your plans? We won't tell anybody.
Well, Joe might be listening, Jay.
Well, that's certainly true. You never know who's listening to the Young Turks.
And by the way, I wanted to let you know that first part, I almost got the feeling he wanted to go off on Turks, and I happen to have a daughter who lives in Turkey. She's married to a Turk. And so I was, he's also one of the guys trying to get through that resolution to call the thing in Armenia a genocide, after World War I.
That's interesting. That's why he probably asked you that question. So,
right.
All right, I hear you. Bruce, well, it's interesting. And let me ask you a final question here before we take the break. The idea of going to their house, would you have mixed feelings about that at this point? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my idea. The operative from Iraq Summer came up with the idea, and I kind of went along with it. Mm-hmm. And since I'm the local person, I'm the one that caught heat for it. But maybe it was overbound. Some people think I stepped over my bounds. But you know what? It's interesting, Jen. There's a video. Gary Peters, who's running against Joe, is a professor at Central Michigan University, and one of the people on a website called WriteMichigan.com, in the dark, stalked Gary Peters walking from his office to his car. asking him questions about his professorship at Central Michigan University. And it was in the dark.
Right.
You talk about scary.
Yeah, I hear you, Bruce. That's why I'm a little concerned, because now this is getting a little out of hand on both sides. You know, people following each other around and going to their houses and stuff. You know, I think the Democrats honestly handle it a little better. Pelosi is obviously frustrated with all the protesters that have camped out in front of her house. Right? They're doing laundry and stuff in front of her house, and they built this huge Buddha statue, but they understand it's a democracy. The Republicans immediately threatened to arrest you. So there's a little bit of difference there, but I'm not sure I'm comfortable with going to people's houses, because next thing you know, they're at all of our houses, and that's a total pain in the ass.
Well, the only reason I went to his house is that we've invited him to town hall meetings. He won't answer questions. He works for us. We're his boss.
Yeah.
And he won't come out in public and talk to his constituents about his positions on issues.
All right, I hear
At least
you.
Nancy Pelosi's on television talking and answering questions.
That's true. That's true. All right, Bruce Ffell, everybody check out his websites, and we'll put up links to everything on theyoungturks.com.